Hi friends, this is Whitney with Faith, Trust, and Christ. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. If you are new here, we like to talk about a lot of Disney, take you on some travel adventures, and do some travel tips and tricks to help you and your family on your travel adventures. So if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. It does help our channel out. So today on the channel, we are going to be talking about traveling tips with large families to Disney World. Here, I do want to say that I do have a resorts video if you're trying to decide which category, and I do want to share some tips and tricks about choosing a resort and how we get our resorts a little bit cheaper. So go over and check that video out. I will have a link for that at the end. I also want to say that if you and your family are staying at the same category resort, you can request to be in the same building so that way you are closer to your family. Still feels like a family gathering, but just let them know. When we were on one of our last trips as a large family, we were staying at the Grand Floridian. We were not in the same building, though it is the same resort. My brother and my dad was in another building, and we were on the opposite end of the resort in another building, which was fine, but in order to see them, we just met up at other locations around the Grand Floridian or at the parks. I also want to provide this tip: if you don't want to stay at the same resort as your family, you don't have to. For example, me and my family don't always stay at the same resorts. My brother and his family typically camp out at Fort Wilderness Campground. They love it there. We're not big campers. Maybe one day we'll stay at the cabins just to be a little closer to them. But honestly, we meet up at the parks. We spend a lot of time at the parks anyways, so it works out really nice. Also, the kiddos love to go over to Fort Wilderness. They've been on the trail rides. We go to each other's pools, the splash pads. It's really nice. And also, Disney did approve us to go to each other's pools because we are a family vacationing with one another. They said that was a-okay. But typically, unless you're DVC, you cannot go to other pools other than your resort you're staying at. But since we are family and we're staying at different resorts, they allowed us. Another tip I would like to share with you guys is you do not have to do everything together. I do suggest doing at least a couple of things together, a ride, having dinner with one another, but you do not have to do each and every little thing together. I also want to say that me and my family honestly typically do stay together, and you'll see that in the videos. We really like to be with one another. It's a family vacation. We get along really well. I'm very thankful for that. I do say that when my older nieces and nephew and my brothers and them want to go on rides that my kiddos can't go on because they're not there yet as far as height and don't want to, we will stay in the area. Like if we're at Tomorrowland and they go on Space Mountain, we would go on Buzz Lightyear on People Mover while we are waiting on them. But we do typically stay in the same area, kind of hang out with one another. And honestly, it's a lot of fun to just be with one another. So choose a few items to do together. Ride a ride together, go eat somewhere, do lunch or dinner, have times that you're gonna meet up and be with your family. It is a family vacation, have those times. But if you are not together the whole time, it is a-okay. My next tip is to have a game plan. Me and my family like to talk about it before our trip, have a game plan of what all we want to accomplish, what all we want to eat. And if you're doing dining reservations and setting those park reservations, you're gonna need to go ahead and do that. But we honestly like to talk about what rides we would like to do, what all we would like to accomplish before we get there. So I also want to share that when we are traveling at Walt Disney World, at the end of each day, we like to talk about the game plan for the next day. Our must-dos, what we as a family want to do. We go ahead and talk about that so we can kind of have the itinerary set up and ready to go. I want to let you know that plans do change. Be flexible, rides can shut down. You might get there and your favorite snack stand is closed. Come back to it another time. But I will say, just be flexible. Next tip is to be flexible with your large family. Moving your party, it might take a little bit longer than if it was just you and your family of 4 or 5. If you are in a large family, it's gonna take a little bit to get around the parks. That's okay. Enjoy it, enjoy those time, take those photos, take it all in. enjoy it, and be flexible with your family. I want to let you know that you may or may not get to accomplish everything. That's okay. Choose 1 or 2 things that you want to do and try to accomplish those. So another one of my recommendations is to take a break with you and your family. Either stay in the parks, find a quiet spot to take a break, or just leave the parks. It's very nice. Some of my favorite memories is going over to Tom Sawyer Island and kind of taking a break over there with my family. The kiddos just running around at the fort and having a good old time. Just makes for some special memories. Going to the pool, take those breaks, enjoy that time with your family. The next tip is to take those group photos. I truly mean it, especially in front of those park icons. Get those at the beginning of the day where you're feeling refreshed, you're feeling good. Make sure you get those photos. I highly recommend planning for them, making sure your family knows, hey, at the beginning of the day before everyone spreads out, we're gonna go ahead and take these photos just so we have them. And I know, especially if it's my husband, he hates photos, but if I go ahead and pre-warn him, he will know. Also, you want those for memory's sake. Also, don't forget to take photos on rides. I know that they do the photo rides and you can get that photo pass and memory maker. Honestly, you guys, take some photos yourself. I honestly love those memory maker photos. They're really nice, but the photos that I take from my perspective are some of my absolute favorites. Also, pro tip for you guys, if you do not want to purchase memory maker or photo pass, you can hand your camera or phone to the cast member and they will take it for you. And when they take it for you, it is free of charge. Last tip for you guys is to enjoy one another. That sounds very simple, but truly, take the time to enjoy one another. You may not have this trip again. You may not get to have the same family members on the trip. Someone may pass away, and you want to take that time to enjoy one another and enjoy these moments in the most magical place in the world. So that's going to be it for tips for traveling with your large family to Walt Disney World. I hope it has been helpful for you guys in your future trip. If it has been, please like and subscribe and join our community. If you have any tips for us that you would like to share or any questions, please leave them in the comments below. We hope you guys have a blessed day and we'll see you real soon.